I think that we are in a weird time where we have a government, effectively a new government with a new list of policies. We have very little idea where they're taking us. We don't know where the country's going. In housing, we've got a clear sense from ministers that they're going to be a bit different in terms of their approach to the approach of the previous administration, if we can call it that. I think that they are less determined that all new housing should be for sale. I think there is an awareness that it should be across all tenures. I think there will be some focus on sub-market rent. Whether there will be really a determined effort by this government to increase the supply of true social housing, I somehow doubt. I get the sense from their rhetoric that actually they see social housing really as a tenure for the very most vulnerable in society. They don't see it as a wide-ranging tenure. And so while I do see some more pragmatism from housing ministers, I don't think that we're going to see a renaissance in social housing. I think now is a very good time. I think this government is sincere in wanting a step change in terms of housing delivery. I think this is true across the political spectrum, incidentally, but I think this Conservative government is determined to get the numbers up. I think we're going to see a big push for things like build to rent. I think is that sector, which we talked about for so long, but I think that really is going to expand. I think we're going to see starter homes perhaps come down. There'll be more support for the private rented sector. I think there will be a big push also to look at other forms of sub-market rent, as well as the ownership schemes. So I think, yes, for anyone who's in the sector, right now this is a government which is desperate to hear any thoughts anyone's got on how we might be able to increase supply, and particularly of affordable homes. One of the things that the Prime Minister said on her election was her determination to help those people who are just managing, as she's described it. So not the people who are right down at the bottom who might be eligible for social housing, and nor people who are well off, but people who are just managing. A focus on that group will be important for the sector, finding products that people who are earning somewhere between, say, 18 and £24,000 a year, what kind of homes can we offer for them? There's a clear divide between Conservatives and Labour on social housing. The Conservatives have until very recently been quite clear that social housing they see as a problem. They see it as causing poverty, causing welfare dependency. Not all of them, but certainly number 10 under David Cameron took that view. I think on the other side of the argument, you've got Jeremy Corbyn promising 500,000 new council homes. So I think when you've got two very polarised arguments like that about the kind of homes that we should be building, actually what happens in the media is that those debates have been to be heard in that way. So it becomes about social housing or not social housing. And I think for the sector, that's probably quite good news. Now, I don't actually think that we're going to have a Jeremy Corbyn government delivering 500,000 social homes anytime soon. But that said, while we're at least having the debate, it means that actually the focus will be on just how many social homes are there, who's on the waiting list, how are we going to deal with that group who would conventionally have taken social housing as the most likely tenure. I think conferences like this are coming into their own right now for two reasons. One is a kind of more long-term reason, which is that increasingly we're doing our engagement with other people by email and social media and that kind of thing, and over a larger geographical area. And consequently, we kind of can feel that we're just in our little office, staring at a screen without ever actually seeing anybody else, like a real person. And so I think conferences are really, really important. I mean, I've seen the sector expand very dramatically over the last 10 years. The other thing is that, frankly, right now, there is a desperate thirst for understanding. I don't think we know what's going to happen following the Brexit vote, what that's going to mean for our economy, for our housing sector, and indeed for our way of life. People are really desperate just for any snippet of information that they can get. This is a government that's not giving an awful lot away at the moment. Any snippet of information to help them plan, help them think ahead. So I think conferences right now are in exactly the right place.